Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marie-Annick Lucier, and I'm a support officer for community and social development in the Bureau of LaSalle. I would like to welcome you tonight to this virtual information meeting of the collection of food waste from the buildings with 9 housing units or more, as well as from industrial firms, businesses, and institutions. Before turning the floor over Monsieur Thibault Chénet, coordinator of the LaSalle Eco-Quartier, we will make the presentation, and please note that you may ask your questions in writing in the chat box that you will find if you have a Gmail account. If you use an email account other than Gmail, you must submit your questions to lsl_communication@montreal.ca. The address is marked on the screen. Please make sure you mention your name and ask your question clearly and consciously. Questions must be only on the topic of this information meeting of tonight. A period of time has been reserved for answering questions after the presentation. Also, the meeting will be recorded and available on replay for those unable to attend live. Without further ado, I invite Mr. Thibault Chénet, who is in charge of this matter, to take the floor.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for this presentation for food waste collection for the extension. So I'm just going to share my presentation right now to start it. It won't be long. Sorry, I got a problem. Oh, no, it's okay. So yeah, we're gonna extend the food waste collection in the borough of LaSalle for the buildings with 9 apartments and more, and also in the institutions, commercial establishments, and industrial firms, which calls ICIs for the red and green sector in LaSalle. So what about the presentation plan? So we're going to discuss first about why we have a food waste collection, what are the benefits of it, what materials you're going to receive to do it, also which bags you can use for the food waste collection. After that, we're going to see what are the acceptable food waste and then the unacceptable food waste. Then I will give you some tips and tricks because I know that there is some concern related to the food waste collection, and then we'll have a question period. So as a reminder, I will tell you that you can just submit your questions at lsl_communication@montreal.ca. And if you have a Google account, which means a Gmail address, you can directly ask your question in the chat box just right on the side of this video. So to remind the context first, so why do we have a food waste collection? It's first to achieve government targets for reclaiming, first of all, recyclable materials, so about 70%, and in that particular case, organic waste at 60%. So officially, since 2020, landfilling organic waste is prohibited in Quebec in accordance with the Quebec Residual Materials Management Policy. But there has been some delays, so we still have 5 years to complete it. So that's why in Montreal, since 2020, a systematic collection has been gradually implemented in buildings with 9 apartments and more, as well as in ICIs. So what about in LaSalle especially? So this year in 2021, as you can see on this map on the top left and also the bottom right, you have the red and green sector, which will be implemented this year. And next year, it will be for the yellow and the blue sector. So let's talk about this first phase of the collection. So for red and green sectors. So for red sector, first of all, just to remind you that nothing changed for your recycle bin and your classic garbage. it will continue to be collected every Thursday. But now, every Monday from next Monday, so the 3rd of May, you have a collection of your food waste. So in the brown bin that we will see later. For the green sector, that's the same. You will still have your recycle bin and your classic garbage collected every Monday as usual. But every Thursday, from next Thursday, the 6th of May, you will have your food waste collection. So what are the benefits of the collection? First of all, you will reduce the volume of your household waste. You have to know that about 45% in average of the weight of our waste is compostable. So you will actually just share your waste between your bins now. And also, by doing this, you will reduce your environmental issues caused by landfilling food waste. You have to know that when we send organic food waste, organic waste and food waste, to depository, there is a production of methane, which is a really bad greenhouse gas. And also it can produce leachate that can contaminate water and groundwater that is used for our consumption. What about other benefits? You can, for example, reclaim your food waste and it will be used to produce compost. This compost helps maintain and improve soil quality in agriculture, for example, or in gardening. And it helps to reduce synthetic fertilizers and chemical fertilizers. So it's really better for the environment to use that kind of fertilizers. What about the material you will receive? So depending on the place you live, your building, the size of your company, you will receive a kitchen bin, about 7 liters. So it's really easy to keep it in your kitchen and then dispose your food waste in it. After that, you can just transfer it in one of the 3 sizes you can receive, 3 sizes of bin you can receive. So first of all, like the small one, 47 liters, and then, or the 120 liters or the 240 liters. So it really depends on the size of your buildings and your ICI. The maximum you can receive per place is 3 times 240 liters. And the advice we give to you is like to write your address on the bin, even if it's really easy to order more bins or even to ask for us to take back some bins because you have too many, sorry. So yeah, it's really easy to do, but some people don't know how to do that, and they just prefer to take one bin like somewhere in the street. So write your address on it, and you will have more chances to keep it for you. So to collect it in your bins, to collect the food waste in your bins, you can use bags. But be careful just to use only B&Q or BPI certified compostable bags. Be aware that biodegradable and oxo-biodegradable bags are not good to use for compost. And when you buy it at the store, at the grocery, be sure that it's written compostable and nothing else. So you have here 5 examples of logos that you can find on the packaging of the bags you can buy at the store. If you don't want to use bags, that's great. You can also use newspaper. So of course it can come from the newspaper you have already read, or from the one you find in the public transportation at the Metro Journal, for example, or the 24 hours, or also in the Publisac. So if you do that, like to use the newspaper in the Publisac, be sure that you don't use the wax or plastic coated paper. They are not good at all for the compost. So just use like the classic newspaper. It's really important. So where does the food waste go after the collection? So it is transported first to a transshipment site. It is sent to Saint Thomas de Joliette, but you have to know that the city of Montreal will have soon two places, home places for the city. And right now, the compost, like currently, is used as soil for agriculture purposes, as well for certain specialized spreading soil mixtures. So now let's see what are the acceptable food waste. So of course, fruits and vegetables are allowed, breads, pasta, and other grain products also, and meat, poultry, fish, and seafood are accepted. Solid dairy products, and I'm insisting on solid, it's really important. So cheese, butter, like this, no problem. Desserts and sweets. And also tea and coffee with bags and filters. If you can remove like this the small piece of paper on the tea bags, it's better, but still it's accepted. But other than that, you can also put your food boxes for pizza or chicken or anything you've ordered. You can put it in the brown bin, sorry. You can also put the napkins, hand papers, paper towels, like all that kind of paper, you can put it in it. So, which include also facial tissues as Kleenex, for example. And of course, you can use brown paper bags or compostable bags that we have seen before. If, for example, sorry, you forget your reusable bags at the groceries, and so you take now the brown paper bags, they are really useful to use it as a bag for your kitchen bin. So now let's see what are the unacceptable food waste. So of course, plastic, biodegradable, and also biodegradable bags are not good at all for compost. So don't use it. And again, be sure that the bags you use are compostable. Liquids, forget about soup, juice, what else? Milk. Yeah, I told you that solid dairy products only. I said solid because milk is not allowed, for example. Chewing gum are not allowed too. Baby diapers and sanitary products are not good for the brown bins. Feces also, animal litter, for example. Hazardous household waste, you can put it in the brown bins too. And finally, like to conclude, maybe we could say that waste material to be disposed of in other types of collections as recyclable materials, green waste, which are collected every Wednesday, depending on the place you are, or even hazardous household waste are not, of course, allowed in your brown bin. So let's now see what I can give you for tips and tricks, because I know that there is many concerns, for example, for odors and small flies. First of all, and the easiest way is to hermetically seal your bin. You will avoid like to have too much oxygen in your bin, so it's going to slow the process of composting. You can also sprinkle a bit of baking soda in your bin. Remember that you usually you can use baking soda, for example, in your fridge to remove the odors. So it's the exact same thing for your brown bin. Wrap your leftover meat or fish in newspaper or in brown paper bag. It's going to keep the odor inside the paper. Use compostable bags again. Cover damp waste materials with newspaper. So as you see, newspaper is really useful in compost. And store your food waste in the freezer. If you have some place to put your kitchen bin, put it in the freezer, and the compost process will be stopped. And also, don't forget to take out your bin every week, regardless of the amount collected. Especially in the summer, if you leave it outside, it's really hot. It can be really hot in the summer. And so it can smell really strong if you don't take out your bin every week. What about the animals? It's another issue that we usually have, but it's really easy to avoid it. So if animals are lurking around your bin, just apply a little calf ointment around the bin lid. So to give you a brand that most of us know. For example, the Vicks VapoRub is really good to put around like the bin lid. Also, and of course, I would say like place newspaper at the bottom of your bin and keep your bin clean at any time. Use compostable bags again. Don't put, I put avoid, but I would say don't put liquids in your bin. So again, milk, juice, soup, extra. And rinse your bin in hot water with mild soap every time you can, or even with a little white vinegar, which is really efficient. And for those who are already home composting, be careful, it's not the exact same thing that offers the city. So the food waste collection now will give you a chance to get rid of leftover meat, fish, cooked meals, soiled cardboard boxes, and other food waste that should not be put in the home composter because they are more specific. So yeah, you will be able to get rid of that kind of food waste. If you need more information, if you have any concern about the compost process, from how to do it to how the collection happens and everything, you can reach the Eco Quartier La Salle at any time. So our office is at the 55 Avenue du Prat, which is also the la mairie d'arrondissement, sorry, and which is closed now for the reason that you know, for the sanitary reason. So our phone number is 514-367-6000. The extension is 6500. Or we have also an email address dedicated for the compost process, which is bienjeté at ecolasalle.org. Just also before the questions, I wanted to give you a small tips also. You can download the Savahou app on your phone. The Savahou app is from Recyc Québec. So you have here 3 screenshots of the app. In the middle, the one in the middle, you can see that you can select the place where you are. It works almost everywhere in Quebec, and you can. And after that, you just have to write the waste you have to put away, and it will tell you what bin to use or where to go to get rid of that waste. So thank you for your attention. It was really good to have you tonight. So again, if you have a Google account, a Gmail address, you can ask your question directly in the YouTube chat on the side of this video. If you don't have a Google account, you can send an email to lsl_communication@montreal.ca. Thank you.
Thank you, Monsieur Chenet. First, I want to apologize to our citizen. It seemed that we had like a slight technical problem with the presentation. We will make sure that we're going to have it on our website and on the website of l'Eco Quartier, just for you, if you want to see again all the slides. So we will now move on the question period. Here is a reminder again of the instruction, as Mr. Chenet just told you. So ask your question in writing in the chat box for those who have a Gmail account. If you use an email account, so other than Gmail, send your question to lsl_communication@montreal.ca and mention your name and word for your question clearly and consciously so that Mr. Chenet can give you the most adequate answer. And questions must be about the food waste collection only. So do we have any questions? So the first question would be, do we have to put a bag in the bin?
No, you don't have to. It's better to do it because it helps to keep it clean, but you don't have to. If you prefer just to throw your food waste like with nothing, it's okay. but don't forget to always keep your bin clean to avoid the odors.
Thank you. I have a second question. With the heat in the summer, could it create unpleasant odors?
It can actually. That's why we really recommend to take out your bin every week and to rinse it or wash it every week. And don't keep your bin in the direct sun if possible.
Thank you. A third question. Very good. I will soon be moving. What should I do with my bin?
Okay, so if you move, it's really easy. Just leave the bin with the apartment. And then if you change the borough or anything, well, anywhere you go, if there is this service of compost collection, food waste collection, don't hesitate to contact your borough or your city, and they will send you in few days a new brown bin.
And does the compost attract insects?
Insects?
Yes.
Okay, not really. Like as we've seen with fruit flies, there is no problem with insects in general.
Thank you. And the final question, I think, can I get the compost produced from waste materials and use it in my garden?
Not directly, actually. You can't directly take the food that you put in your brown bin, but if you stay aware about why your borough offers you, I would say like every year, the borough of La Salle offers you compost collection. You can like go and pick it up by yourself.
Thank you very much. So thank you for all your questions. And that brings this information meeting to a close. If you have any questions, as Mr. Cheney just told you, you may contact the La Salle Ecoquartier at 514-367-6000, extension 6500. And you may also send an email to bienjeté@ecolasalle.org. Thank you once again for your participation, and I wish all you an excellent end of this evening.